Councillor Bim.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we have apologies for absence from Councillor Skeet and Councillor Witscroft.
Councillor Flack, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Holden.
Apologies for absence for Councillor Barlow, but he's joining us online.
And Councillor Foley.
No apologies, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, agenda item number 2, declarations of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interests?
Yes.
Yes.
I have an interest in agenda item 14, Treasury Management Annual Report, and I'll not be speaking or voting on that item.
People that when they address the mayor to please stand up. But you've done it now.
Apologies,
but,
Mr. Mayor, I
a warning
forgot.
for future speakers. Brilliant. We go on to agenda item number 3. Oh, yes.
It's not a pecuniary interest, but as Secretary of the Friends of Sir Joseph Hood Memorial Playing Field, I have an interest in item 16, and I won't be speaking or voting.
Declarations. We move on to agenda item number 3 to approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 17th of September 2025, which include the ordinary and extraordinary meetings. Is there any dissent to these the minutes? I take that as agreed. We now move on to agenda item number 4, announcements. I'm going to invite Councillor Garrett to address the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This month we saw remembrance services hosted right across the borough in honour of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for freedoms that we enjoy today. From Cricket Green to Merton Park to Wimbledon Village, I was proud to see so many residents and councillors come out to observe the 2-minute silence. I'd like to record my thanks to the Mayor's office and officers from the council and the various voluntary organisations who helped organise the events, as well as local residents and businesses. Mr. Mayor, the council saw some of its most successful firework events yet at the start of this month. Our fireworks in Morden Park was the biggest event in London on Guy Fawkes Night, and on Saturday, the event in Wimbledon drew a record-breaking crowd. Over 40,000 people attended these events in total, showcasing the fantastic community spirit that makes Merton such a special place to live. And over the last few months, this administration has been focusing on our 4 pledges that will make Merton even more special. Residents told us that they really cherish their local parks and green spaces, but wanted to see more done to tackle fly tipping. Through our pledge to roll out pop-up tips in every neighbourhood at least 4 times a year, we've done just that. Since launching our pop-up tip initiative, we've seen nearly 10,000 residents attend across the borough, collecting 184 tonnes of rubbish that may have been fly tipped. Residents also told us that living in one of the leafiest boroughs in London meant a lot to them, which is why we pledged to plant 1,000 more street trees, prioritising the areas with the least tree coverage first. I'm pleased to report that the latest round of tree planting has begun, with Councillor Stringer helping to plant the first tree in Mitcham just a few weeks ago. Many residents, especially those in the Wimbledon side of the borough and those living in flats, relayed the obstacles they face to owning a bike. So we promised to more than double the number of bike hangers in the borough to make bike ownership easier. So far, 6 wards have seen new bike hangers installed, with more planned to be installed in December and into the new year. An area of concern that residents raise is, of course, antisocial behaviour on our streets. While I'm proud that Merton is one of the safest boroughs in London, this administration recognises that there's always more that we can do to ensure that residents feel safe in their homes and in their communities. That's why we launched our Safer Streets team earlier this year, delivering on our promise to tackle instances of antisocial behaviour wherever they occur in Merton. Our Safer Street teams are helping us to deliver on this promise, working to ensure borough-wide visibility from early morning through to late evening. And since deploying in July, they've spent over 1,200 hours patrolling our streets, recorded over 3,000 interactions with residents, conducted 800 visits to local businesses, seized numerous packages of drugs from parks and open spaces, and sent evidence and information to the police for further investigation. Through their partnership with the ASB team, our Safer Streets team are delivering measurable improvements to public safety and confidence across Merton. And I'm proud of this administration's track record of listening to residents and delivering on our promises. And speaking of listening to residents, it's been great to see the number of people that have sent in suggestions for how we should spend the £15 million Merton Legacy Fund, made possible by this Labour administration's sale of Chas, a company that we built up from the ground into a global success story. So far, we've had a range of suggestions from places to plant more trees, thoughts on how we can bring new life to our town centres, and ideas on how to make our parks even better for local residents. On the topic of improvements to our local parks, I'm pleased to report that this Cabinet have approved a sum of £1 million to be invested into Sir Joseph Hood Memorial Playing Field. This major funding uplift will be spent on a new artificial grass pitch, allowing local sporting fixtures to go ahead all year round. We might not be able to do anything about the unpredictability of British weather, but this might just be the next best thing. I welcome members from all sides of this chamber to get behind this development and all the benefits it will bring to local clubs that use the playing fields. Just another way that we are delivering on our Borough of Sport commitments. I know it would have been a relief to so many of our residents here in Merton to see the Labour government's historic Renters' Rights Act officially become law, with Section 21 no-fault evictions now outlawed and the introduction of new measures to protect renters from bidding wars, unfair rent increases and discriminatory practices. Tens of thousands of renters across Merton will finally get the security they deserve. And this builds on the great work that this administration has already been doing to stand up for residents in Merton. We were the first council to enforce a final management order against a rogue landlord in the borough, and just recently used our licensing powers to issue a community protection notice to a landlord for failing to meet basic safety regulations. These examples are testament to what can be achieved when Labour empower both locally and nationally. I'm proud of what this administration has achieved, and we will continue to work hard to deliver for residents across Merton. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Garrett. We now move on to the Mayor's update. Since the last meeting, I have undertook several events, but especially remembrance services, which took place earlier in the month, where I laid a wreath in Wimbledon, followed by attending Mitcham on Armistice Day. I would like to take this opportunity of thanking each and everyone involved in it, the British Legion, Cadets Forces, Scouts, Guides, Cubs, and all the schools who took part, especially on Armistice Day. It was great to see so many schools from across the borough coming to Morden and Mitcham as well. I'd like to also as well thank the churches, especially the Reverend Ed Veal, chaplain to the British Legion in Mitcham, and the Reverend Mandy Hodgson of St Mary's Church in Wimbledon, and all other participating clergy. Also as well to the Mayor's office and the council officers who facilitated the services, but also everyone who turned up to pay the respects to the people who gave their lives to enjoy the freedom we have today. And it was good to see so many hundreds of people from across the borough turning out for the remembrance services. Since the last event, I've also attended an interfaith Shabbat service at Wimbledon Synagogue on the 1st of September, and it was great to see representatives of all faiths there and also of all parties. As well, tomorrow takes place a tree planting in memory of Christine Kelly, tots, and all members of the council are invited to that. Thanks as well to everyone who attended the quiz night on Sunday at the Alexander in Wimbledon, which raised over £1,200 for the Merrill charities. It's good to, I think many people had a good night there as well. My team amazingly won, but I can assure councillors it wasn't a fix. We now have, in the next event is our fundraising dinner. So all councillors have had an invite to that, which takes place in Mitcham on the 5th of December. We will also this year be having a Christmas carol service on the 12th of December. And I'm delighted that Ursuline School from Wimbledon and St Thomas of Canterbury Primary in Mitcham will be participating in that. It takes place at 7 p.m. at St John Fisher Church, which is on Cannon Hill Lane, and I hope many of you will be able to attend. We also as well have the New Year's Day Parade on the 1st of January, and I'm pleased to announce that we will be participating it and going all out to win it. I was proud when I was last mayor to win it in 2009. And hopefully we'll make it a double. But I would like to also as well give a special thanks tonight to my wonderful Deputy Mayor, Shuli Saida, for all her work in supporting the mayoralty. She's been a great support throughout the year. She's brilliant to work with, and I'm immensely honoured for all that she does. So thank you, Shuli. And now we're going to move on to the Merton Heroes section. So I'll move to the front of the dais. Thank you. So the first Merton hero tonight is Gary Baker. Gary has given a huge amount of service in terms of being the parade marshal for many years in Mitcham, but also as well in putting together the remembrance service, but also all the support he gives in terms of the St George's Day Parade and the armed forces. He truly is a hero to this borough, and I'm immensely honoured to have given him the opportunity to give this award to Gary tonight, to thank you for the many years of commitment and dedication you have given, but also as well ensuring that we have successful parades and putting everyone in order, because that's desperately needed, and he is the best person ever for doing that and make sure that everything runs very promptly and efficiently. So I'd like to invite Gary forward. And the next person I'd like to invite forward is Stephen Crean. I'm immensely honoured to be giving Stephen a Merton Heroes Award tonight for all his actions in the recent Huntington train attack, when he arguably prevented the loss of lives through his actions, but also as well his immense bravery on that train at Huntington. I'm truly honoured for his work and for everything that he's done in putting his life on the line to save others. So I'd like to invite Stephen Crean forward for his award. The next person I'd like to invite forward is Inspector Kevin Chambers and his team for all their work in proactively working to reduce crime in Mitcham through their sterling work with Operation Hambling and Operation Hussein. It's truly great to see Kevin here this evening, and to also as well see his family alongside him. So if you'd like to come forward, Kevin, and congratulations. And the next person I'd like to invite forward is Ian Bullock. Ian has done a sterling work on litter picking over several years in the area he lives in Lower Morden, helping to keep his area clean and free of litter around the area where he lives, which I know has been commended by many residents. And I'd like to thank you, Ian, for everything that you do to keep our borough clean. So if you'd like to come forward, Ian. And the final person I'd like to invite forward is Shane DaCosta for all his work in his local community, which includes working with the local authority to tackle antisocial behaviour and working as a volunteer on his community road watch, which has included working with the police on speeding. Shane has also been a very active volunteer at a football club for young people. So I'd like to invite Shane forward. And thank you to all Merton Heroes for everything you do. And I look forward to more presentations at further council meetings of many other Merton Heroes. And thank you for all councillors who have put people forward to be Merton Heroes. We now move on to agenda item number 5, which is public questions to Cabinet Member. You have a list in front of you of 27 questions for members of the public. Answers have been provided by the appropriate Cabinet Member. Each questionnaire was invited to notify the council in advance of the meeting if they wish to ask a supplementary question. When your name is called, please come forward to the public questions desk at the rear of the chamber or unmute your microphone to ask your question online. Please note that you may ask one question and it should be a question, not a statement. We have 30 minutes for this item and we'll get through as many questions as we're able to in the time allocated. We do have a large number of questions indicated tonight, so please keep your questions and your responses succinct so we can get through as many as possible. The first supplementary question is from Steph Wyatt, who I understand is in the chamber. Please come forward to ask your question.
Freedom of information requests show Merton invests in companies linked to Israel's violations of international law. Merton says it requires London CIV to consider human rights risks in its investments. Will the council specify in detail what divestment actions it has taken and when it believes exclusion is required. Other councils, Sutton, Barnet, Lewisham, Waltham Forest,
Sorry,
are pressing
it's
London
not a statement, it's a
Collective
question.
Investment Vehicle for an ethical sub-fund. Will
Sorry, can you
join these
conclude? It's a
councils,
question, not a
will
statement.
Merton join these councils to request London Collective Investment Vehicle to introduce clear human rights exclusion criteria? Or
Councillor-
will Merton Council tell us what legal, financial or procedural barriers are preventing?
Councillor Brittis.
I'd like to thank Steph White for her original question, which included a response detailing our leader's letter to LSIV. I'd like to inform Steph White that I was on board of LSIV for 3 years. I know it operates ethically, and I will constantly be in touch with them with regard to ethical investment policies. Thank you.
We move on to the next supplementary and I call upon Richard Poole. Is Richard in the chamber? You'd like to come forward, please.
Good evening, thank you. Modular housing approved by the local government authority can be built for less than £60,000 per unit. In this year's budget, will the cabinet member approve funding to build modular housing in Merton? And if not, why not?
Councillor Judge to respond.
Well, thank you for that question. It's rather a surprise to me, actually, to be answering it. So have been looking at modular housing. It's actually likely to be, in the longer term, cheaper and quicker to build than other forms of housing, and I say of increasing quality. And we've been working with, for instance, the YMCA on such matters, and we visited architects to look at a particular catalogue of modular forms for our future housing programme.
Our next question is from Sarah Colby, who is online. Sarah, if you could please ask your question.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. When was the feasibility study into a potential Toucan crossing completed? What assessment work needs to be concluded, and what is the timing for that?
Thank you. Councillor Neveson.
I'd like to thank the Hillside Liberal Democrat for the original question and the supplementary question. Safety.
Yes. What's your point of order?
Councillor Neveson, that the Code of Conduct says he must treat all persons with respect, and constantly commenting on the political status of members of the public is not doing so. If members of the public started making political points in their speeches, you would stop. Please do the same for Councillor Neveson.
Mr. McGough, I don't consider anything disrespectful about being a Liberal Democrat candidate. So as I was saying, safety is a top concern for this in this borough. For Merton Council, it's definitely one of the things that I want to prioritise, and I know the officers are looking at this, and there will be more information available in the future.
Okay. I call upon Susan Grocott, who understands in the chamber, for the next question. Suzanne, if you can please come forward.
Thank you. So I'd like to thank the Cabinet member for her response to the question. I'm pleased to hear that action is now being proposed on Ross Trevor, Springfield and Midmore roads, and I hope that she'll commit to replacing any lost trees in due course. As my supplementary question, I'd like to talk about the specific tree on Compton Road that a resident believes is the cause of structural damage to their property. Whether I can get, maybe by the end of the week, any information that is held on Easy Trees regarding this tree, in particular, any performed maintenance on the tree in the last 5 years, so that this information can be provided to their insurance company. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Stringer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank Susan Grocott for her question. I'm very happy to, as a former councillor, she knows that as cabinet members are very happy to take casework and very happy to look into this particular tree for her later in this week. Thank you.
Okay. I have Jocelyn Crew-Wagon. Would you like to ask a supplementary question? Jocelyn, if you can please come forward.
Thank you. So my question is about the raising of the flags. Just to say, these flags are not in our neighboring boroughs, and the borough that I work in, it's not there. And if it was there, it's been removed. So neighboring...
Please take your flags down that you have at the back and not have items in the council chamber, please. Sorry, can you continue, please? Yes. Anne, thank you. They're not to be the things.
On public spaces that should not be there. Given that a national survey has been done that these flags are intimidating, ethnic minority people have experienced racial abuse since illegal flags been raised since August in Merton Council. Please, can the council tell us when will these flags be removed to protect our residents? Thank you.
Councillor Neveson.
Thank you so much for the original question and the supplementary question.
Sorry, please do not interrupt. Councillor Neveson.
Very much, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to just reiterate how proud I am to be part of this borough and the wonderful diversity that we have here in Merton. It's one of the great sources of strength here. And I'm sure that's a feeling that's held by everyone in this room. For those who are trying to use our flag to divide, spread division and hate, we say we will not let them hijack our flag. We will continue to monitor the situation. We are listening to what we are hearing from residents, and we are speaking to the police and other community organisations to understand issues in the local area, and this position remains under review.
Thank you. Please be quiet. Sorry. I'll give you one more warning. I will give you one further warning. You've had your opportunity now to have your say. Right. We're going to adjourn the meeting then for 2 minutes. Security.